Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. Santa Bob sitting alongside me, Santa Randall. Good to be here today for the Bob Randall and Company live preview show. This is episode 14, October 3rd, 2022. Randy, October 3rd.
Can you? That's crazy. October 3rd already. I mean, a little over a week, middle of the month. Boom, trick or treating time.
I know, it's crazy. Well, I hate to mention it, but 3 days from now, big day for me. I turned 69. Birthday coming up, so this is a special month.
Bingo.
October always is.
Well, happy birthday early. Congratulations.
Well, thank
Congratulations.
you.
That's great.
Yep, getting on up there in age, and just blessed to be able to still come in here and enjoy what we do and share knowledge with everyone out there. You know, the weather here is absolutely gorgeous. We've been low 50s, mid 80s in the afternoon. Can't ask for better weather. This is what we live for, man.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, we had a fantastic weekend. We were same thing, 40s and 50s at night for sleeping, and then during the day it was gorgeous, blue skies and sunny all weekend for my shows. And today, same way in the upper 60s. I mean, we're gonna get a little dip later in the week, but man, I'm very, very fortunate. It is a great time of year for that sleep and that cool, crisp air.
Absolutely. I mean, it just don't get any better than fall and spring. Springtime, the air is so fresh. Fall time, it still has that same type of freshness to it, but in a different way. It's been hot here all summer long, dry. Just been miserable. If you stay locked up in the house under the AC, you're good. But boy, you step outside and it's like somebody hits you with a sledgehammer. All right, so hey, golly, we got a good bunch of folks joining us today. AJ Bayless, Rex Ray, hello, sir. Santa Tom from Vancouver, Washington, as always, Mr. Greg Swick, our featured guest for tomorrow night. We'll talk more on that here in just a moment. Nathan Vanderbork, good to see you, brother.
I gotta ask Nathan. Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt. Nathan, is Mama done? Mama, okay? The other day we were up in Bronner's in Michigan because they went to the C.W. Howard, and Nathan goes, my wife's in a little bit of labor. Of course, he lives in Columbus, Ohio, or Southern Ohio, and we were 6, 7 hours away. I'm going, shouldn't you be going home to Mama? But he said, oh, it's the third one, no big deal. So Nathan, how's Mom doing? Is she doing okay?
He'll get us a response center in just
Yeah,
a
the
moment.
response.
So
That's
wait for it
good.
to
He's
come up, but
probably
it
working. He's probably
in the meantime,
discussing.
hello, Ron McClam, Jeff Olet, excuse me. Get that out there correct. There it is.
She checked it
Angela
out.
put it up for you.
All right. She had a checkup today. Should we schedule for a sit? Okay, good. All right, good. As long as Mom's okay, because we were talking in Bronner's, going, shouldn't she be going home? You go, oh, no problem.
Just never know. I mean, it could happen when it happens. It happens.
Sure does. They don't wait for anybody when that happens.
He says she was the one that told him to stay in Midland. He
Yeah,
ought
yeah,
to come
she
home.
did.
Yeah, but she knew how much it meant to you to be in Midland. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure if she had started going in to labor pains and had to go get that C-section done, he would have hightailed it home for sure. All right, fantastic, man. Well, you know what? Gosh, we talked about the weather. We talked about my birthday coming up. We talked about having C-sections. That's a good variety. Let's go ahead and get into something burger. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. We're actually got three something burgers for you today.
Hey, Charlie.
Hot topics, fantastic segment here. We love this since we started this with Randall and myself. Randy, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do the first one.
Do the first one. Okay, we got two
Carry on.
topics. The first one is some of us prefer leaving the tree up all year long, and some don't. Um, what do you guys do? Do you leave it up? Do you take it down? Is it everlasting, or is it a real one that smells so good? What do you guys do? What do you guys do? It's a cool one. We've got both. I'll give you a little hint. I've got one both. We've got a white one in the living room. Of course, that's everlasting. And then in the family room, it's a real green tree in the family room. So That's and of course multicolored bulbs and all the the Disney cute little things. Of course, the white one is the gold and the silver, and just kind of look at, don't touch. But
I
they
know
do
for
come down.
ourselves, you can see above me up here. We leave this up. This is basically for the show. Give a little Christmas background. Where I'm sitting, I can't really use a backdrop. This is the main passageway between my kitchen, my dining room over here, and my kitchen over here. Have to do that backwards because our screen is reversed. But so it's hard for me to use a backdrop where I'm at. Wife and daughter puts up the Christmas tree and takes it down. Sometimes we put it up early. Sometimes we leave it up late. But it does come down. She I guess puts up with it as long as she can, and then she's ready to get the mess put away and
Yeah, that's
go
what it
for it.
is more than anything. Yeah. Now we still have stuff on the mantle. All of course, I have this backdrop up all year long usually, but even the mantle in the living room is got Santa figurines and things like that all year long. That actually doesn't come down. And of course, I have Santa pictures and paintings around the house. They don't come down all year long. I had some guy over to fix the refrigerator and stuff. He's just looking around like Santa pictures, Santa pictures, Santa big. Some are 3x3 and of different things, and of course, then the mantle's got statues, and so he's like, "Wow, you guys decorate early." Nope, that stays all year long.
We're the same way on top of all of our kitchen cabinets
Yeah.
here. There's figurines, Santa related, Coca-Cola products uh, that's related to Christmas, and the same way throughout the house. There's photos of Santa and the family and things that she leaves up year round. All right, so let's go over here and
Oh,
pick up
that's good.
some of our
Yeah, let's
comments
look
that
at
we
the.
have. I'm sorry.
Let's take a look.
Uh, Charlie Johnson, let's see, artificial tree up for the holidays. Very good. AJ says he takes his down after Christmas. Uh, if you had a way of keeping them from getting really dusty or cobwebby, leaving them up year round is fine. But, hey, it's a dirty world we live in. So Rex Ray says that Darlene kept theirs up all year long. I took it down during a deep clean and just have not gotten it back up. Exactly, Rex. That's what I was talking about. Of course, Rex, after Darlene passed, you changed out to her sewing room where little Darlene's was and converted that back into living space. And you went through and painted the house and like you said, a deep clean and a freshening up after that. So we understand. Nathan says we get a real tree for the living room for December. I have a fake tree in the shop all year. Charlie Johnson, the room my video visit studio is in has Christmas stuff up all year, just like Randy does. Mr. Greg says I put 2 up after Thanksgiving. I got 1 up all year long in studio. Now, while we're on the subject of Greg, real quick, I got to tell you, Greg, I was watching, listening to a segment that you'd done on another format, and you had mentioned about the YouTube videos that I believe you said your brother had put up. Oh my goodness, guys, if you have not gotten a chance to go look at some of Greg's family Christmas from the past, the 90s, up through the early 2000s that are on YouTube, I absolutely sat and laughed so hard.
Oh.
Greg asked the Santa. His dad did Santa for the family for years, and then Greg took it over after a number of years. And Greg is Santa. I'm assuming it was one of the first years, but he was bent over in his sack pulling presents out, trying to read what tag was on it and where it was going. And he had family members trying to help him, and there was hands going everywhere and presents going like this and there and that. And Greg bends over to look, and his hat falls off, and he grabs his wig real quick to make sure it doesn't fall off, grabs his hat, tries to put it back on. It's absolutely just money. It is money. I got to tell you, if you haven't seen it, go over and check it out. Some really good stuff going on there with Greg and his family. Christmas segments. Absolutely loved every bit of it. Let's see here. Facebook user. I'm not sure who we got here, Randy. I don't have my.
Yeah, it says, but it does say I'm a Santa local tree farm. Oh wow, that's very cool. Local tree farm. I don't, and to have a deal with them. What? So how many trees do you put up then? If you have a deal with a local tree farm, boy, you could put a few up for that. As much as trees are. I know a family. The gentleman Roger Mitten that does the Kringle tracker. Him and his wife put up over 20 Christmas trees. over 20 Christmas trees they put up every year. Now, many
Wow.
years ago, Erica, his wife, didn't even care for Christmas till he became Santa, and then she was hooked. And over 20, that's crazy, 20 Christmas trees. But they do. Sorry about that, Bob. I'm rambling.
No. You're doing good. I was just looking because I had over here on my other monitor, I had the show pulled up so I could see the comments through Facebook where I can see who
See, name.
our Facebook users here in StreamYard as it comes up as. And for some reason, it's froze up and not working, so I can't do that. AJ says it's Mark Carman. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, Angela confirms that. Very good, Mark. Fantastic man. Okay, so that was number one. I'm going to let Randy. Randy has a topic that he has submitted and wants to do, so we're going to let him go next on that one. Go ahead, Randy.
To me, this one really takes a lot of thought and practice about a lot of things. Is what do you Santas do when you do a home visit? When you're there, you're done with all your thing and everything else, and you've got to leave. And of course, the children want to follow you. Now, some might rip their packages open really quick, even though you do it at the last minute. They want to follow you out. They want to watch you get in that sleigh. How do you deal with it to get out to your car that's in the driveway or down the street, that you're not walking and getting in your Ford F-150 truck and driving away? Or what is there something?
I'm going to let Randy.
Do you tell them someone to look out the back up to the sky? I'm just curious what you guys do to get out of a house without the children watching you out the front door or peeking out the windows at you.
And they will.
No, they will. Oh, they will.
They do.
That would really. I don't know how many of you guys do home visit, but that would be a great. It's to me, it's a very difficult thing to do. I've thank goodness I've done the same Christmas houses for many years, so I don't have the problem with them. But it always makes me nervous every time I do a new house because
I've got a great answer. I'm kind of going to wait and let's see what our audience puts up. But I've got a great one, and it's not my original. I've got this from another Santa, but it absolutely works fantastic. Kind of waiting to see if anyone puts anything up. It doesn't look like there's anything coming in, so I'll go ahead and talk about it. What you do is, of course, you're in contact with your person at the home visit. You always set up a contact person, usually the one who calls and arranges for your visit. You work with them. You ask them always to put toys out front, so you can put them in your bag, meet you out front so you can park and escort you in the house. Those type of standard things that we do for home visits. But also talk them into taking, and if they've got 20 children, go buy 20 of the little stuffed animals. Be at the dollar store, you can get them for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And then have them arrange those in a back bedroom on the bed. Just spread them out. And just before you get ready to leave, you tell the children, Santa has one last surprise that he wants to share with them. And that before he came through the front door, he magically put a gift back in the back bedroom and for the children to go back there and pick out their toy. They all rush back there to see what Santa's left. While they're back there, you hightail it out the door and they never know you've left until they come back out.
Wow. Cool. Very cool.
Okay. My reindeer only fly at Christmas time. They are at the North Pole eating the magic hay. To be strong enough to fly around the world, I have to rent a truck to make my rounds before Christmas. That's always a great one. And, guys, if you really want to get creative, you could even have a little sign made up that says Santa's rental and put in the window or something to that effect. And that way, if you just want the children to come out and walk you out the front yard as you leave, perfect explanation.
They have those very inexpensive magnetic signs now. Mm-hmm. You could probably make one up and let it look really cool and really flashy. It's Santa's rental. What a great idea. Oh, man, that's fantastic. That's why I love this, because that's a great idea to put a sign on there. And then the kids get a kick out of it besides.
And I know down here in Texas, those sign companies are on every corner now. You can get banners and signs and all kinds of printing things printed up. If not, you've got the box stores that you could go to. Office Supply, Office Depot have combined under one roof, but they still do it. Printing and things of that nature. Banners is a great idea.
cool idea to put a sign in there.
And some guys
Santa's rental. That's all you need on there. I like it. I like it a lot.
that way they could walk you out and wave by as you're leaving, and it's all explained right there. Santa's rental.
Yeah, see, that's what I've always liked, that final goodbye, bye, get the little hug. And it's like, but now I got to get out of there without them seeing where I'm going, So I didn't want to just all of a sudden disappear. I've done it before, of course, but it's not me. I know I have the parents say, well, Santa just goes up to him, he's gone, but but I like the final hug or whatever it might be. So that's a great one.
Roll down your passenger window, right wave, and a big old ho ho ho, and a toot toot to the horn, and away you go. I know some guys also use the explanation that Santa flies in to the local airport. That, of course, the tracking agency of the United States, NOAA, not NOAA, is NOAA? NORAD, is in control, and they fly you into the local airport. And they have a special hangar for Santa there in all the big cities to store the reindeer with elves to take care of them. And, of course, they give you a vehicle to use. So, but anyway, the sign would work.
Yeah, that's cool. I said I'm going to buy I'm just going to buy magnetic signs are $10-15. They're pretty cheap to have made, and I'll, red and whatever glitter thing, that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Vistaprint, exactly, Charlie. Vistaprint, they're inexpensive. And that's the 2 for $46 are probably pretty big ones besides.
Hey, Ben, how are you? I know you and Charlie and a bunch of the guys were up in CW Howard this last weekend. I'm sure you're all kind of tuckered. Long weekend, fun weekend. We're going to talk more about the reindeer games here in a moment. Just want to say congratulations to Charlie Johnson on being Santa's on Facebook, October Beard of the Month. Fantastic. Charlie says Vistaprint has magnetic car door signs starting at $2 for $46. There you go, guys. Cheap investment, great way to get yourself out of a pickle.
Yeah, wonderful idea.
Gotprint.com is great as well. Fantastic. All right, so that was a great segment. Love that. Let's go on to number 3. I'll grab this.
Ahead, Bob, it's yours.
So something burger, hot topic number 3. If you was offered a major mall and had the choice of being the only Santa covering all hours or doing a split chair, what would you prefer? This is just kind of a poll to see where everybody's mindset is on this. Split. If you prefer split, would you rather do mornings or evenings, and why? I know the standard answer there is going to be probably mornings for most folks. There's a reason for that. Yes, and that's correct. Santa Tom Spangled also does printing, and could print those up for you.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have some other commitments, let's say, some regulars that I've done for 10, 15, 20, whatever years, I would take a full-time gig, just morning, noon, and night. And then I know that I am booked. I'm going to have fun. I would set up my bag for there. I would know what I would need. Then I know what this is by the end of the season. I would probably take a full shift. But since my pre-commitment ones, I take a split shift. We were talking in the green room, Bob and I said, I'm very fortunate. I love doing Bass Pro, and in November I do Monday through Friday during the nights because that's all they're open. It's kind of like a split shift. Well, they're not open during the day. Well, the store is, but they're not. Santa is. And in December, I'm fortunate enough I do Monday through Friday during the day, which is a split shift. So it's fantastic. I mean, I do a split shift now, but I love it at the place, man. You see some wonderful people. You can still be Santa just as, and all your little fun things you want to do with them, a quick little story, whatever little thumb tip, whatever you want to do, you can still do it at a major mall. So probably if I didn't have them, I would take a full-time gig just to know that, man, I would know what that is. And that's a full-time gig. That's a lot or a good amount.
Yeah. For me, going on 10 years at the same mall, my first year, I was excited to know that and me and Randy was kind of talking about this before the show. I was excited to know that I was going to be the only Santa at our mall. And as I told Randy, our mall is a 3 level mall. It's a major mall here in Dallas, the largest on this side of Dallas County. There was a couple other malls that have gone out, but our mall has always been very strong, uh, doing very well. And I loved the fact that I was the only Santa. And boy, that first year I got in there and those 10 and 12-hour days started running together. And as I told Randy, the only day I have off once I start is Thanksgiving Day because the mall is closed. You get on that last 4-week run working those 10 and 12-hour days, and it really gets to be a grind. And it's something that you've really got to have the right mindset for. And something else we're going to talk about here later on in the show is about getting your rest. But the second year, I believe it was, Becky Norman, who was my contact, my actual boss at Worldwide Photography at the time. She came to me and asked me, says, would you like to, have a split chair? And I told her, no, as long as I'm able to do the hours and I'm still doing the kind of job that you guys, expect and you're happy with my performance, I would rather be the only Santa. And the reason is you guys sell us as the real Santa. We're there. We're supposed to be representing the man. We are the man. And children are smart, so I would rather just keep it that way. And of course, when Cherry Hill bought it out, all of their malls are split chair. But I'm fortunate, and it goes back to my marketing manager at the mall. She prefers that we only have one Santa at their mall. So it fits and ties into what I like. So it's been a really good fit for me. Now, as far as going back to the comments, as far as morning and night, I know Rex probably put it the best, and this was my mindset when I wrote this particular question up. Is some guys like to do the morning shift, that gives them the evenings to do outside work. Now, if you're working for a major mall, Cherry Hill or a couple of the other smaller companies that are out there now, you're allowed to do outside gigs outside of your contract with them if it does not conflict with what they do. It's, for instance, example, I couldn't work at my mall and then go 15, 20 minutes the other way and jump in another mall and do the same thing. That's conflicting. You can work anywhere outside of the mall as long as it doesn't have a professional photographer that sells photos. So, you can go do all the selfies and all the outside work you want with home telephone cameras, whatever, as long as there's not a professional camera photographer there taking photos and selling.
Now, quick question. How does that work for working for a photo studio then, or a company that has families come in, use Santa poses for pictures and all that kind of stuff, and actually a photographer?
Now, for me, I asked that question this year because for the first time in some time, I'm going to work with a couple of photographers starting here in 2 weeks, 2 different photographers, Saturdays and Sundays. I'm good with that as long as it's not after my start date at the mall. Once I start at the mall, then that would be considered a conflict in some way. So,
yeah, we got a lot of good comments about, Charlie says splits and evenings. Oh, cool, evenings. Kevin says chairs for mornings. Just got mine. I'm not sure what.
probably talking about the signs or something from Spangle Printing.
Oh, okay, got it. Rex says, I love the split hot chair. It allows. That's true. It does. It allows you to get other gigs, and that's what it is. I know Jeff does a major mall here. Actually, probably one of the only busy major malls in the Metro Detroit area that's kind of left. So I know Jeff's going to be real busy with that. We talked to him the other day that he's going to be there. So he's got his hands full with that mall. Lucky guy. There's not many other that. Our malls are 50% full maybe here in the local metro area. So, but lucky for you, Jeff. Good job.
If you're working a split chair, that does give you the opportunity to go out and do those other gigs. If you're working for one of the sporting goods stores, I don't think that they have a restriction of what you can or can't do as long as you show up on time, you do your shift, you walk away and do it well. I don't think that they have any type of restrictions like, say, for instance, Cherry Hill does. But my mall's the same way, Jeff. Man, it's slow Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings, afternoons, especially after school lets out. It gets busy, but then once school lets out for the holiday season, it's elbow to elbow, especially on the weekends. And speaking of, we only have 12 Sundays left till Christmas.
Wow.
Is that correct? I think I read that earlier.
I think it
12.
was, yeah, I thought I heard 12 Sundays left till Christmas. That's
Wow.
just,
Unbelievable.
there's
Fantastic.
only what, 83 days left till Christmas. And so,
I know, crazy, isn't it? All right, so hey, man, I love something burger. My goodness, I feel full after that segment. How about you?
I was hungry, and now I'm definitely satisfied with some great answers. Really, I'm definitely was hungry.
I love it because it gives us all a chance to put our 2 cents worth in. Let's say Rex says I'm starting my 10th year in a chair at Bass Pro and have done both full days and split hot chairs. Yes, and Rex is a Hall of Famer, and that is why he is a Hall of Famer. He has been doing this for a while, and nobody does it better than Mr. Rex Ray. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Hey, trivia time.
Da, da.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Don't forget to check out their sister site, MrsClausJewels.com, where Mrs. Claus Janice is a leading supplier for Mrs. Claus, elves, and Santa jewelry, knickknacks, and accessories. Both Tom and Janice are passionate about exceeding your expectations, bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Visit their sites at santascloset.org and mrsclausjewels.com. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
And here's Randy.
Cool question, because it is October time. Of course, you all know it's coming at the end of the month. Ooh, it's Halloween time. Of course, it's Halloween time, and we've got kind of a fun Halloween question for you here. Of course, everybody knows the song, but you might not know who sang the song, the original song, The Monster Mash, and what month of year, which is kind of odd, was it released? It is the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. But who sang the original Monster Mash song, and what month of the year was it released? Man, it's a lot of fun,
Who sang the original Monster Mash? There's kind of a little bit of a tie there because of the nickname that this particular person also had. So fantastic. We'll get the answer to this here in a bit. You guys go ahead and submit your answers. Remember, we need the month and the year along with who sang. So that's a 3-part answer there. Have to have all 3 parts correct to win the goodies. From Tom Cordemelia over at closet.org, our fantastic friend
Great.
who makes this show possible each and every week. All right, so let's go to the outside of this, and we'll be back on the other side. No, but in defense of Tom, we need to know what year the song was released, please.
No, I'm asking something else. I'll ask you in a minute.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I wanted to get this out to Tom real quick so he could correct it if he needed to. But Tom was really close there. We were just missing what month and what year was it released, and I don't think I saw the release date in there on Tom's. Okay. All right, we'll come back to that. Right now, we're going to go ahead and jump into the preview section of the show for Tuesday Night Live, October 4th. We have Mr. Greg Swick, the Green Screen King, as I have nicknamed him, and I think that fits appropriately. Randy, take it from there.
Man, it does. He is definitely the king of the green screen. It always is great listening to Greg about, and he just immerses himself to make it as good and as high quality as he can, and that just shows. I mean, that shows that he wants to take care of his clients or take care of his guests or the children, whatever, the best he can. And so you guys are going to learn so much unique, interesting little back divots on how to make things right. Because it's not easy. That's why I went to the static background, real background, because green screen is it takes a lot of knowledge. You don't want that funny little shadow, and of course it doesn't like white, it doesn't like green, or if you use a blue screen. I mean, and then for him to have a room where you can walk around and have animation, and oh man, you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. Greg's a full of knowledge. Besides the people he's working with, he doesn't mind sharing all that information. Greg's great about that kind of stuff. So don't miss tomorrow night. Don't miss tomorrow night.
I started off trying to use the green screen, and I have several outfits that have green shirts. So I thought, that's not going to work. It's going to limit me to what I can use. And then I said, okay, well, we'll do blue. And then I realized I had a couple of blue outfits. So, but the problem with the blue was my eyes are blue. And if you do a close up, I was ghosting in my eyes and kind of that Halloween spooky type of deal,
And blue is even harder to light than green is. It's better probably for Santa and all that because there's less things that are blue, but blue screen is harder to light, takes more lighting and more odd lighting but when it happened a couple of years ago with the COVID thing, everybody went to green screen. That's what everybody was learning. And if any companies wanted you to do it, they wanted their logo up and everything else. And so that's the way everybody went. But Greg took it to another level. He really did. He took it to another level. It's like a studio on a TV station,
Yes, absolutely. And again, guys, if you go over to YouTube and look at some of Greg's early years portraying Santa, oh my gosh, the difference in the professionalism and what he's doing now and how he has advanced through the years. I mean, we're talking back in the 90s, and here we are in the 2020s. Lots of years in between there for him to work and hone in his skills. But fantastic job that he does now. Someone mentioned, I think it was Charlie mentioned there about his North Pole. Tomorrow night, that's how we will actually set this up is we're going to let Greg just take the second half of the show, giving him 30 minutes, and he's just going to run through his whole North Pole presentation, everything that he has, everything that he wants to share with us, including the technology, as Rex just mentioned, OBS, and the tools and programs that he uses. So going to be a great show tomorrow night. I am so excited to have Greg back. We have, as Rex mentioned here, after his first appearance on Tuesday Night Live, Rex says that he started using the OBS software and he uses it and loves it. Now, again, like any technology, I don't care how tech savvy you are, you go to a new platform or something new, there's a learning curve. And I know when I first started trying to use the OBS with Ron McClown, who had been also working very hard to learn that technology, shared with a number of us over the course of months. We worked trying to hone in, make that, the OBS work for us and the different things that we was able to use it for. And there really is a learning curve there. So what I'm trying to say is don't get frustrated if after tomorrow night you go and try to recreate some of the things that Greg is doing, because I got to tell you, he makes it look easy. Yeah. I mean, he absolutely makes it look easy. And there is a learning curve there. And there is, they always say golfing can humble you if you golf, if you're a golfer. Well, I can see where OBS and some of the other technologies that we have tried to do with the green and blue screen stuff can also humble you in a real hurry.
Yeah, it's very technical, and he will take you through his graphics and everything are just fantastic. They really are. They're fun to watch. His little guy that explains things to begin with and appears, and like I said, I won't say about the wormhole again because I know I talk about that every time, so I won't go crazy with that one again this time.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Santa Tom. Shh, don't tell anyone. I said 30 minutes, but we will not hold him to that because we realize. And here's the deal: as long as you guys are interested and you stay on and you continue to watch what he is doing, we'll stay there all night if you want to. The only reason we try to keep the show to an hour to hour and a half is I know that's a long time to sit and watch anything. And so people start to, you look up and your hit counter up here in the corner is going from 40 to 30 to 20 as the night goes on. You start losing folks. But as long as you guys will stay engaged with Greg, we'll let him go all night if you want to. I don't have anything else to do. Do you? Do you, Randy?
Not tomorrow night. No, I don't. Not till the weekend.
So yeah, however long it takes, however long Greg wants, and however long it takes, it's his floor tomorrow night. The whole second half of the show. First half we're going to do as we've been doing in the past. We'll kind of ask some little fun questions and some, chit chat and backwards and forth and get to know Greg a little bit better for those who don't. Hey, Scott Martin. Ben Bellhorn says, set expectations. If you're not doing virtual now, it's really very unlikely you can do a great job for this season. That is so true, unless you can put lots of time forward. It daily probably should be planning for next season. Absolutely correct, Ben. It's a great point, brother. It again, it's something with technology that you do have to master because if you don't learn all the little nuances, then it's very well not going to be 100%. You're not going to be happy with it. So fantastic point there, Ben, as always. Tom says, "Mum's the word." I agree. All right, Randy, who we got coming up? What else do we have coming up this year on Tuesday?
And October 11th. October 11th is, of course, the Roundtable Night. Oh man, it's going to be a great. I mean, we've got 5-6 specialists, experts that are going to be on the panel that are going to have like each little segment's going to be somebody about agency, somebody about designer beard, somebody about Mrs. Claus. We've got somebody that night that has expertise in each different situation. We've got a Hall of Famer, of course, coming on to us, and a Hall of Famer. So much talent that's going to be there for a roundtable. And we've got a list of questions that we, you folks have sent in, but hopefully you can send in some more questions. Something that pertains or really can, you want to know about, and because you've got a great panel that has the answers and have been through it. So October 11th will be just nothing but pure fun and education and everything else. I mean, we're a couple weeks before the season. What better is to hear that? Like I said, I'm just freaking out about the sign. I think that, to learn something like that, and you're going to learn stuff like that next Tuesday night too. So don't miss it on the 11th for the roundtable.
Well, and guys, we really wish that. I know that it's a lot to ask, but even if you just submit one question to give us a little more meat to our sandwich here, we've got a list of questions that we kind of went through and decided that are great questions to use. But we want the audience participation. We want to know what you guys want to know. What's on the top of your brain that you just need to know the answer to, or a better way of doing things, or even if you just want to share a way that you do something that that we haven't covered in past shows. Hey, even if we have covered it, bring it again. Well, we don't always have the same audience week in, week out, although the majority of you guys come back week in and week out, but we are always picking up new people watching. But the key to this is it's not so much what we do here as the live broadcast. It's that recorded replay that goes over to YouTube. That's where we can really help a lot of folks, and that's where our broader audience is becoming. So, and on Facebook also in the group. But please throw us a question, throw it to us in a PM, send it to us in an email if you got my email address. Just help.
Yeah, it's just something that concerns you about the season, something that you've been bugging you, or like it's a concern, or like Beth said, a question of anything. It can be a short, easy question, or something that's you just pop us a line. We'd be glad to be able to. Like I said, we have an expert for each division of this season, of every season, so of the business. So please, we want to help you guys and let you if you got a concern, question. Boom. We want to. This group wants to help.
And just because Randy's on the Monday show, he's still tied to the Tuesday show because we're a family here. Send him the questions. He's as big a part of all this as I am, and So, just reach out to us, give us something. We had first said that we were probably going to try to have 10 panelists. The problem with that is it kind of gets discombobulated with so many people, so many different answers, time runs on. So we've decided that we've got a great representation with the 5 that we've chosen. As Randy said, Rex Ray, Hall of Famer. He was the first one to throw his name in the hat. I got to tell you, when we was in Branson back in April, Spangle decided to do the same type of segment. Santa Tom can tell you about this. He was there. We done what started off to be about an hour. I think it ended up running close to an hour and a half. Rex Ray, Larry Shaw, Kelly Ford out of Oklahoma, myself, Deanna Golden and Judith Broderick got up there on stage, and the 120 something folks there that had attended the school passed the mic around and asked questions. Like I said, this segment went on, and I had several people tell me afterwards that they thought that was the most valuable part of the whole weekend. And again, it's because it's just
we all need to go to the schools. I mean, the schools are fantastic to go to and all that. But we all have said this, everybody that has said this, that the biggest thing of knowledge, not the biggest part of it, but a large part of it, is when you're sitting around the lobby or you're sitting at dinner at night or whatever, and you bring up a topic. And this is exactly what that's all about, is bringing up that topic that, I mean, you can learn all you want out of the books and everything else, but that doesn't address always what your concern is all the time. So, or your questions. So it's like doing that, just getting together for that time after, like Bob said, just ask that question, and man, it's going to be, especially right before the season. If you have something that you're going, oh man, I got too much of this yellow, or don't grow anymore, or where do I get glasses from that I can actually read, or whatever. I mean, just basic questions are fine, whatever you need, or silly shirts, I don't know.
Speaking of, Randy, got to say you're looking good with your sanification going on there, man.
First bleaching down and 2 more to go before we're as white as the snow. Got it. I like that line, so it got to be as white as the snow. But
yeah. Such a transformation, I got to tell you. All right, so moving on to October 18th, that's our second annual Halloween costume show. As I mentioned in the past, we've got a good list of folks that have signed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about a dozen people. We could use another dozen if there's anyone else out there that decide they want to throw on a costume. Come on the show live and be part of it. Got some great prizes that we're trying to work and put together, so it'll be more than we did last year. Of course, we want to always expand and be better from one year to the next. So fantastic there. And then tell them about the last show of the season, Randy.
Oh my goodness, don't say that the last show of the season, but it is kind of ironic how it's on the 25th. It is kind of interesting how it's on the 25th. It'll be the last show for the season on Tuesday night. And it's just a wrap-up one. And we want to get people from that have been on the show all year long. I know Bob wants to get, if you guys would like to make a 2-minute, minute and a half little verb saying, hey, look, guys, I had a great time on Tuesday Night Live, and I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, or whatever you'd like to say. We'd like to put a little is that what it is? A package together to show everybody. I don't know about that word. It just doesn't come out right in my mouth. It just sounds kind of dirty to me for some reason. But send in a little video. You can do it on your phone. It just takes a few minutes. Say, hi, I had just a great time this year. I'm looking forward to my season. Whatever it is. Been one of our guests and or people that have been watching the show. But it'll be a great way to wrap up the season. And thank you all. Thank you all so much for being a part. Is what that's about. You guys have made the show. Tuesday nights and all the guests and all that. So that's the 25th. It's kind of cool that it's the 2. It's sad that it's the last one of the year, but
yeah, it is. It really is. But on the lighter side, Rex Ray again, always Johnny on the spot. He's already submitted his close out the season video to me. Fantastic job as always. And so let the videos begin. Hey.
It just takes a few minutes to get that phone out and just say hi and thank you. And I'm looking forward to my season and looking forward to the first of the year, starting all over again, watching Tuesday Night Live and Monday night. Monday night. It's Monday afternoon. Sorry, guys.
Oh, and by the way, Rex, I haven't showed it to Elf Angela yet, but after we get off the show this afternoon, I'll show Angela Mackey video. It made me so proud. I want to just say thank you for all the kind words in the message that you sent me yesterday, Rex. Okay, so speaking of letting the games begin, reindeer games.
Oh my goodness.
We got Elf and
Uh,
News. We do this little segment. It's kind of a takeoff, a trick on words, but reindeer games. Randy, I'm on. I mean, we know Mitch was the loser. The children was the winners.
yes.
But I'm gonna let you fill in between those two.
Yeah, it was the week of Charles W. Howard up in Midland, Michigan. It was the 85th year of Charles W. Howard School, and about an hour or so away, 40 minutes to an hour away, is a city called Frankenmuth. The Santas got together there and did dinner, and of course the world's largest Christmas store. But then they went back Friday night and they had a thing at the hotel called the Reindeer Games. It was kind of a takeoff from iBurbs down in Atlanta that Mitch and Michael Howe did. Kind of what they call is egg roulette. They had a dozen eggs, and you picked one and smushed it on your head. And the best thing, and it was kind of just for fun in Atlanta. It was just to do something for the whole thing. But the reindeer games on Friday night was for charity. I mean, it was for the children, which was just fantastic. It was for two different charities. Now, I'm going to have to read them. One was for Believe in the Santa Foundation by Keith Carson.
Keith
Carson. And the other one is Great Lakes Santas here in Michigan by Kathy Frick. And actually, Keith and Kathy, I mean, I have to give an applaud. The money that was raised, they both doubled the money. They doubled the money. They put their, whatever the was raised for the children, both Keith and Kathy, both doubled that money. So the children just benefited like crazy for this holiday season, and it was a riot seeing Mitch Allen get smashed in the head a few times with eggs, and of course last week Herbie was on. Herbie even took a few eggs in the head too. He had to smash. People were paying money for Herbie to smash his head, and Michael Howe got a pie in the face by Deb Gillum. Somebody paid to put a pie in the face, a whipped cream pie. I mean, it was phenomenal fun. I mean, you couldn't help but laugh. It was a riot. And again, the bottom line, coolest thing, Michael, Herbie, Charlie helped, Bruce helped, and everybody else that was a part of it raised, oh, great, Charlie. Yeah, he knows, great. Raised a lot of money for the children. I mean, that is just so, it took a step further than just being fun reindeer games from Atlanta to a fun event. Now, there was a Santa I've known for 50-some years. He said, he goes, I don't ever remember Charles Howard being like this before. He said the school wasn't like this in the 90s, so it was a little bit more free and fun. But again, it wasn't at the school; it was at the hotel. But just phenomenal. I got to give applause to everybody that donated, because you could donate online. Really, applause to everybody that donated. It was for such a great cause. Besides, you have to look at the replay on Hire Santa's Facebook page.
Yes.
It does cut off before it's done, but you see 95% of what goes on. It is funny. It's funny. The interaction, the banter between the 2, 3, 4 of them is just priceless. I mean, you can't help but smile and laugh. And so, thumbs up to everybody. And best thing is, man, the children. Cool deal. Thank you to everybody for doing that. And take a look at it. You'll laugh. Especially when Debbie just goes pet and just rubs that whipped cream pie right across Michael's face.
Yeah, Deb did a great job on that one. She, she was hesitant. And all of a sudden, just like you said, right up over the top.
Yeah, boom.
Hey, and
I
Charlie,
don't know if she wanted to do it. I think she was rather hesitant. Deb was rather hesitant, but I think Steve kind of egged her on to, no pun intended, because it was egg roulette. But
yeah,
had egg jokes too. They were.
And Charlie was Charlie on the spot there, because he was he was Michael Howell's trainer, and he had a stack of towels and kept passing the towels out, which was fantastic. Yeah, it was Like Randy said, if you haven't seen it, go over and watch it and be ready to laugh because it is hilarious from start to finish.
And it's all why we do it, guys. Remember, this is why we do it. They did it. They got egg on their face. They got whipped cream on their face. They got everything else. But we did it for the children. I mean, the shirts can get washed. The hair can get washed. I mean, the bottom line is they just made all what they did that night, and everybody that donated just did such a great job for children that don't have things during the holidays. I mean, that is just, you can't help but go, yes, I want to do it, and be a part of it. So thanks, guys, to everybody. Really, everybody
that participated. Fantastic. $4,000 raised, as I said. Mitch was a loser, 0-2 in the reindeer games now against Michael Howell. And, the reminder was when Mitch got up the next day and there was a white styrofoam cup with an egg in it. And around the edge of the cup had been written loser and 0-2.
See, I kind of said, maybe we could get Mitch to win this year because then it'd be 1-1. Then we could have the rubber game. You got to see, and then you have the third one. But I think it'll still go on again. I really do because it was just. Oh, are you donating 6,000, Ben? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're saying?
Not sure what that is there. And Charlie over in the comment section, Charlie has put up the two charities, if you would, and this was one of the main things we were waiting on towards the end here was, but if you would like to donate to either one of those charities, send $5 here, $5 there. It doesn't have to be much, a little bit, anything you can send. Those are two great causes. The children are the beneficiaries. Again, Keith Carson and Believe in Santa Foundation. For those who don't know Keith, I don't know if anyone does or doesn't. He is in Florida. He's been a professional Santa now for a dozen years or more. He's was the most decorated highway patrolman in Florida's history at the time of his retirement. And just an all-around fantastic guy, great Santa, and started this foundation and has been very successful at it. Again, the children are the beneficiaries. The Great Lakes Santas, Inc. Was the other charity. Be sure and if you got a buck or two to spare, and I know times are tough right now, but think about the children. This will afford children to get toys that otherwise wasn't going to get any.
Great Lakes Santa here in Michigan is a nonprofit that's all they do is raise money for children. That is their sole. They're like MAPS, but we don't. MAPS doesn't raise money for children. Great Lakes, that's what they do. And Kathy Flick Flick with an L. Was kind of their spokesperson, but yeah, they same thing. It's just strictly a charity for children, and they put their name on it, and so. But that's $6,000. That's a lot of money. That's going to make some children very, very happy.
$6,000, which is what Ben says is what has been raised at this point. That's a lot of toys. That's a lot of things for the needy, those low income, those less fortunate than the rest of us. And we couldn't be Santa if we didn't have a heart and we didn't care about children. It's all about the children, guys. Okay, let's move on. Right here, yeah, the sun's coming in through the blinds. Thank you, Angela. This time afternoon, the sun comes in the window in front of me and starts cutting across my face there. All right, let's do the trivia answer. The trivia answer was Bobby, Boris, Pickett, and the Crypt Kickers, and that song was released in August of 1962.
In August. I think it's kind of funny in August. That's why I said it's kind of different. It's in August. Not you think it should have been done maybe September the earliest, but back then in the 60s, nobody rushed the holidays. I mean, you didn't hear anything about Halloween until the second week in October, and you didn't hear about any Christmas till after Thanksgiving. So that was interesting that it came out in August. That's really was a cool answer for that.
Yeah, and you can go over to YouTube and find that video, and Robert, Bobby, whatever you want to call him, Pickett, does a really cool rendition of a monster in his facial expressions as he's singing that song. And of course, the nickname Boris comes up there, and you instantly think of Boris Karloff, the famous actor who acted in a lot of the old spook movies from back in the day.
good old classic Halloween movies, you know?
Yep. So who is our winner, Angela?
Well, there wasn't an exact. to the
Okay, so
T.
then it looks like Tom's gonna. Is Tom correct or? She's still figuring that out. We'll get that answer here in just a minute, guys. Right now, while she does that, let's go ahead and play the lead in to Santa Shorts because it is time.
Hi, everybody, and welcome again to Santa Shorts. Just a brief peek into the world of Santa and Mrs. Claus. But what I want to talk about, and this is kind of adds on to a few things from before, is a little about who we are as Santa or Mrs. Claus. And I know it's just something you think about it. Should we be, as Mrs. Claus or Santa, should we be a unique Santa? And we all know what a unique Santa means. I mean, in different ways. Do you sing? Is that what your specialty is? Do you do magic? Is that what your specialty is? Do you play an instrument? Do you want to be a unique Santa? Do you want to be a traditional? Just a traditional where you just sit there and you have your
Charlie got it correct. Charlie's, yeah, I didn't have to have all that stuff.
and just be a traditional without being and there's wonderful places for that. And this was the thing that I think the word came up over the weekend is do you want to be an authentic Santa? Authentic Santa. Now, authentic to me means a couple things. Actually, the description of authentic is kind of weird. Is accurate, convincing, credible. What is the other words? Original, pure, reliable, dependable. I mean, I sometimes I don't understand what that means by authentic. To me, authentic would mean: do you have the look? Do you have the attitude? Do you have the just the background of what Santa is? So that's what we get to pick. And I know I said this when we first started about the thing. We have that capability of being any part of Santa we want to. If we just want to be a traditional Santa, we don't want to be unique. But most of all, I guess authentic because we want to be all those items. We're going to be genuine because we're going to be Santa following the criteria of Santa. We're going to be accurate. We're going to be on time. We're going to be credible. We're going to be all that. So I guess we're going to be authentic as being Santa. But do you want to take it that step further and be unique and all that? Of course, we always are going to be trustworthy. We're always going to care. We're always going to do those kind of things. Let me say this: if you don't have those things, please hang the red suit up if you don't have those things, because those are necessity for every child and every family for you to perform as Santa, is to make sure you have those basics. Those are the most important part. So unique, you don't have to be. Authentic, I guess you have to be because those encompasses all those things: being truthful, being reliable, being faithful, being caring, and all that. Yes, so what is the thing it says? It's genuine. The first two words they say is genuine or original. But I don't know. I took that out of of course, Google. It doesn't really answer everything. To me, it kind of dances around what authentic is. But and maybe I am too. But please think about what you want to be. And it doesn't matter if you're a mall Santa, if you're a house Santa, if you're a corporate Santa. The basics are always going to be there to be authentic and to be traditional and to be unique. They're all blend together because we're in the brotherhood together and sisterhood, of course, as Mrs. Claus is. So please do the best you can and go to schools, hang out with your friends, other Santas. And I know you will give your best because it's can't believe it's only, what is it, 29 days till most of the people's season start. That's November 5th. A lot of people's season starts in 29 days. Wow, that's crazy. But you guys, thank you so much. Think about you don't have to think about it because I know you guys are an incredible Santas and Mrs. Clauses. You just bring a shine to the business, and just really make the red suit proud. All of you out there really do, because you all take your time to put something back into the business and learn. And that's like, I want to give you guys all a big round of applause and thank you for listening to me every week too. Thank you guys so much. Most of all, take care. I'll see you soon.
Great job. I want to say hello to Mark Walker real quick and Scott Parker, both joining us a little bit late today. But here is a question for you, Randy. On your graphics, Kevin wants to know what's on the shorts.
Hold on, I'll have to look. Is he asking the ones I'm wearing now, or is he asking on the picture?
On the picture on your graphics, I guess.
Okay, good. It scared me there for a minute. I'll have to go back through my pictures here. Well, you can answer a question while I try to find it in my pictures.
Hello, Eric Moesha.
There we go.
Late today too.
Oh, I found it. They're little. Remember the 70s? You had paisley. That's what it is. Little swooshes of paisley. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. That's what I had to look and see. Now that's on these. When I do my magic thing, they're big red hearts. All weekend when I did the magic shows, all 8 shows, I bring a pair of boxer shorts out and they've got hearts on them. But these are actually paisleys.
As long as it wasn't skid mark, we're good to go.
No, I didn't put that side in the picture. Yeah, we didn't put that side in the picture. I would turn that out in. Well, no, that's even worse, wouldn't it?
Fantastic job there.
Eric Moshi, good to see you guys.
Nancy says, thanks for sharing your knowledge. And Randy is very knowledgeable and always does a fantastic job on the Santa shorts. Thank you, Randy. All right, so we're going to move along, and let's move on to the next Santa's Magic Bag for this week. All right, so Santa's Magic Bag this week is kind of a, topic that I think that is important that we need to talk about with the season coming up so quick. Mark Chestnut, he is, of course, a country and western singer, has a song that has the words in it, too hot to fish, too hot for golf, too cold at home. Now, I'm not taking the meaning of what that says. It was just something that came to mind as I was preparing to do the segment last night. The segment is actually the importance of getting plenty of rest before, during, and especially after Christmas. The too hot to fish, too hot for golf, too cold at home. What comes to mind there is these suits are awful hot that we wear. And when you're in a suit for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours or more a day in and day out, it is really easy to become dehydrated. I know my first couple of years at the mall, we had a really hot fall that year. Temperatures were still in the 90s and 100s. When you've got a humongous mall like I'm in, I don't care how hard the air conditioners run, it's still hot. I always have a fan on set with me, blowing on me most of the time. If I've got a young lady that comes to sit down and has long hair, sometimes we have to turn it off because it starts to blow the hair, and the photographers get a little upset about that. They want everything to look nice for the photos. But hydrate, and you can't just start hydrating the day that you start. You've got to start ahead of time. Make sure you get your electrolytes. Make sure you get plenty of rest. Rest is important to let your muscles, your body, your brain, your voice. A lot of guys start to lose their voice towards the end of the season because you're speaking so much. Your facial muscles get tired from smiling. Just remember to get plenty of rest. The too cold at home part for me, we always like to load up Christmas morning. My season is done at the mall when I leave on the 24th. We load up and take a trip to the mountains. That is my de-escalation time. It's my time to get away from everything that has happened throughout the season, the long season that it has been. It's time to get it all off your mind, get away from it, enjoy some family time because you've been away from your family, for 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer, depending on, how long your season is, and spend some time with the family. get away from being Santa. Just take a break. I think it's good for all of our mental health, our physical health, and just remember to stay hydrated. And that is Santa's Magic Bag for this week, episode 14, October 3rd, 2022.
So true. I mean, that is something you've got to take care of yourself, and you got to start almost now. I know that'll be something to ask on the 11th at the round table. Santa Bruce is a vocal and everything to keep your voice, because some people got to do a deeper ho-ho, and you're going to hurt your throat. And he talks about how to save that, and protein and things like that. Make sure you eat properly on a daily basis. Don't have fried foods. I mean, I'm not the one to talk, but don't have fried or sweets or anything like that. Take care of yourself that way, because we put in some long hours, and I'll never forget a couple of years ago, I was same like Bob said, you're taking 10, 12 hours. If you don't take care of yourself, I had that, like I was going down. I mean, I could feel that those little white things spinning around, because I wasn't hydrating. I wasn't drinking enough. I wasn't doing enough protein, things like that. Or enough sleep either, because at the time I was working 60 hours a week at a regular job, then doing 7 days a week as Santa. So I was just pushing too much. But some Santas do that. We do that. And so, like Bob said, take care of yourself. It's all about, because you want Santa to go boom right in front of the children, and you don't want to have a health problem. It's just because preventative, is all you got to do. And like Bob said, afterwards, get that mental health time back in, and then start all over again in January of getting everything ready. So,
yeah, the week after Christmas, during Christmas, New Year's, and even the following week or two after that, your mental health, again, you've got to de-escalate. You got to kind of reflect, but think about the good, think about the bad, think about what you could do different. There's time for that, but really it's important. And you mentioned getting the going down, that can hit you out of left field. There was my very first year at the mall, I had a long day. I had 3 to 4, and at one time even a 5-hour line to see Santa. And so it was hustle and bustle all day long. Boom, 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 boom. And at the time, the chair that I had was a big wingback chair, and I had a stool behind my chair. And if a child was scared of Santa, I would walk away and play like I was, leaving, and sneak back in from behind and be above them, above the chair. And they didn't even know that I was standing above them, with them right below me. And so it was up and down, up and down, up and down all day long. And boy, it just hit me out of left field, and I felt like I was fixing to black out. And I hollered at my set manager and told him, if I black out, you guys get around me so the children can't see me, because I still had a long line at the time. And so she told me right then, she says, you got 2 choices. I'm either calling an ambulance or I'm calling Mrs. Claus. Which do you prefer? And I said, call Mrs. Claus. So my wife and daughter and family all rushed up there. And about 15 minutes later, they got me some sweets. And I think I just was low energy. My blood sugar had dropped. This was before I found out that I was diabetic. So could have been something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll hit you out of left field, man. You'll be fine 1 second. Next second, you're about ready to black out. So take care of yourself. That's the key here.
Yeah, I was literally at the time, kind of slurring my words. I realized, oh wow, I got this is it. I mean, you got to take care of yourself. I mean, it's like I said, we've got to be on, we've got to be up, we've got to be Santa for that length of time, and that takes a lot of energy. That takes a lot of burns a lot of calories. So it takes a lot of of course, if you're perspiring, like you said, with the coat, everything's hot. It takes a lot out of everybody. I mean, I'm sure most Santas, even though we eat, we lose weight during the holidays.
Oh yeah,
because of that. So please take care of yourself, please.
I've even cramped up in the chair before when I have leg cramps that cramp up, double up on me. And, you just have to make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure, and this is something I work with my crew each year, because, I've had half dozen set managers in 10 years and new crew people coming and going. But I always tell them in the very beginning, please have me a glass of unsweet tea here, a big giant glass, and we'll hide it behind the chair when I get on set in the morning. And when I come back from lunch, if you could, while I'm at lunch, have it, refreshed. We've got a Chick-fil-A there in the mall. and they'll usually, we buy the first glass and they give us all of our refills free. So, but my crew's been really good at helping me out with that each year. But it's important. Stay hydrated because that's where it all starts right there. And make sure you eat right, as Randy said. Nutrition is everything. Can't skip meals. You got to have your proteins. You got to have your, a small amount of carbs. You got to make sure you limit your carbs. But take care of yourself. Now, real quick before we get too far down the line here, Charlie wants to know, did you use Canva to make the shorts graphic, or what program did you use?
Yeah, I think I did use Canva on that one. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. That and photo. Oh boy, I don't know.
For those of you who don't know, Canva is a great way to make graphics and things of that sort. If you haven't checked Canva out, check them out because it is a fantastic platform.
Also, a thing called Photo Room, Charlie, is what it's called. I use it's called Photo Room. It's an app you can put on your tablet and all that. What's great about Photo Room is that it basically turns everything into takes the background off of whatever you want to add to it. So if you want to add, if you just download let's say the candy cane and it's got something attached, well, you can just download the candy cane. I mean, it'll just put that on your. It's a great program for that too. So I might have gone back and forth to use that, because if I didn't want to find what is it called, a PNG file, that are legal to use, I made my own PNG legal files.
All right, so something we talk about in Sat Bob's classes is something to keep your throat, be it throat lozenges, cough drops, mints. I like the little box of wintergreen mints are really good. Peppermints, yeah, exactly. Anything that will help kind of help your throat. Scott Parker says if it hurts to talk that way, it's not the voice you need to be using.
Right.
That's true too. You have to limit yourself. I have had to do that in the past. Just something you have to adapt to. Charlie Johnson says, get scheduled breaks as part of your contract if possible. That's always, and for me, again, I've been very fortunate at my mall. My folks, if I need a break, they give it to me. We'll just say, hey, give me 5 minutes. The line can, wait just a minute. Sometimes they have to even, escort me to the little boys' room, or the elf's room, as we like to call it. Jackie has a great point. We're not spring chickens. Most of us are retired. We're not as physically fit. We're not as active day in and day out. Many of us, my problem is sitting behind this computer too many hours a day. You've got to get up and prepare yourself for the season. Get out and do some walking, do some stretching exercises, whatever it takes. You just want to be the best you can. You want to make sure that from the very first child you see, no matter how many hundreds of children you may see between then and that last child, that they all get the same experience from start to finish. We're professionals. That is our job.
Yeah, that's why we need to be just as fresh feeling or looking as we do at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning as we do at 10 o'clock at night. So and we have to take care of ourselves to be able to do that.
Scott also has another great point about turning it up and backing it down when you need to, give 100%. But then, that time downtime, if you have it, turn it down to 40%. Again, I've mentioned this. I'll mention it again. I love my hour lunch break. And towards the end of the season, when I go 12 hours, which I'm not doing this year, I'm going to be straight 8-hour Monday through Saturday, 6 hours on Sunday. This season's going to be a little different. But in the past, when I've had to do those 10 and 12-hour days, the 12-hour days, I get 2 45-minute breaks, a lunch and a dinner break. But I go back to my room. I turn the lights out. And literally, if I eat quickly, not scarfing it down, but I make sure I eat and get ready to go back out on set. And if I've got 5, even 10 minutes, I lay back in my easy chair that they provide me there, a real cushy chair, got an ottoman to put my feet up on, close my eyes, and just let my brain rest for a minute, Just take that few minutes to refresh and get ready to go back to work. All right, man. Have we got any questions from anyone? Something we need to go back and do too is, and I want to apologize during Randy's segment. I thought I was muted for a moment there, and I wasn't. Elf, Angela, and myself were talking about who the true winner for today's trivia question was, and we decided that who was it, Angie?
Charlie Johnson.
Charlie Johnson was actually the first correct answer. When we went back through the timestamp on the answers, Charlie Johnson is today's winner for the trivia question. He got it correct. Hey, Charlie, you're on a roll, brother.
Yeah.
Help raise money for the charities. Beard of the month on Santa on Facebooks, and today's winner. Hey, let's go to the casino after a while.
Ooh.
Yahoo, he says. Yes, fantastic. All right, any questions from anyone? I know we've run along again today. We're getting down to the end of the season. You guys are going to have to do without us for a couple of months, November, December, January, because we're looking at this year. We started right after the season was over. I think it was the second week in January. We came back on the air. We're going to take a little bit longer time. Speaking of resting and recouping, our first shows for Monday and Tuesday coming up in 2023. At this point, looks like we're going to start the first Monday and Tuesday in February. That'll give us the full month of January off to kind of recharge our batteries and try to put together some great shows. Get together our guests. There's a lot to put in these shows together, and we want to make sure that we have a better year next year than we had this year. And I don't know how we're going to top it, but we've got to try.
With guests like these and with people that are joining us, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we're so blessed on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, very, very thankful.
Again, we couldn't do it without those folks. You guys are the one that makes the show. We're just here jibber jabbing along and trying to pass the good points that you guys have across and help everyone learn something new. Oh, it doesn't matter. Like the magnetic sign today, that would be a fantastic, or even just one in the window. I mean, that was a great tip. I think that's something we can all take away from for our home visits. Scott Parker says you can do it. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you have the faith in us. And again, you guys are the reason we do this. All right, gosh, we've been on an hour and 19 minutes at this point. You about ready to get out of here?
I guess it's that time. If we didn't have any other questions, I guess it's that time for us to skedaddle doodle.
Yeah, I just want to say, please tune in tomorrow night for Mr. Greg Swick, the Green Screen King. Got a lot of great stuff for him to show us all tomorrow night. If you've got a dollar or two, the charities, both charities for the reindeer games is listed in the comment box. Drop a dollar or two off there and help the children out for those two great causes. Remember, we've got the round table coming up. We have Rex Ray, Deanna Golden, Bruce Kotovich, Scott Seriton, and who am I forgetting? Mitchell Allen. Lined up so far, 5 hard hitters. As Randy said, you got your Hall of Famer. You got Bruce, who is a vocal coach and theater, does all that kind of stuff. Deanna, not going to find a more knowledgeable lady in the Mrs. Claus industry or the Santa red suit industry. Scott Seriton, yes, he's only been a professional for 5 years, but he's going to give you that new perspective from a younger Santa. And, of course, Mitch, being an agent, he can fill in. I think we've got a great panel there. We just need some questions, guys. Send us some questions. At least one. And then, again, we need more folks for the Halloween costume show that's coming up in just a few weeks. It's going to be here before we know it, October 18th. Get you a costume, come on in, have a good time with us, have some fun, and win some prizes. And then, of course, our send off the Merry Christmas show. If you got 2 to 3 minutes, make a video. Just, send us something, and we'll play it. And if you would like to come on the show live, for a quick 5-minute segment, just reach out to me, Randy, or Angela, and our Spangle. But Spangle's a busy man, so we try to let him do his thing while we're doing this. But just reach out and let one of us know you'd like to be on a show live, and we'll do it that way too. It doesn't matter, live or recorded. We'll take either one. All right, Randy.
Again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Of course, most of all, stay safe, stay healthy, like we talked about. And like I said, most of all, always stay magical. Thank you again, guys, for joining us. Have a wonderful week. See you tomorrow night. Bye. Thanks again, Bob, Angela. You guys are always wonderful. I'm so blessed. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're blessed to have you. God bless. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow night.